What is up, my fellow Chibits? Today, I'm here to bring all of you the weekly anime review of Dragon Ball Super. So Goku, spoiler alert, dies. So the preview of last week's episode did, in fact, spoil the outcome of this episode. And on top of that, the preview of next week's episode spoils the outcome of what's going to happen after Goku died. Now, granted, let's just be completely honest here. We all know that Goku's not going to stay dead. Let's just be completely honest with each other, okay? Seriously. It's been too long. We know better. But still, the preview showing Goku already back and fighting Hit once again in next week's episode. Really, Toei? Like, if you're going to have Goku fighting Hit and all that already, don't show it in the preview. Try to add to the suspense of the episode. For instance, Goku, being dead. I mean, his eyes looking completely darkened and all that. Just, it looked really cool. I liked the way that death scene was done. But then right after that, having a happy-go-lucky ending song and then showing us a preview that he's fighting Hit, I'm like, what was the point of the episode? Just trying to make us feel bad. I'm like, okay. Anyways, let's talk about the main message of this episode. So the episode was mainly about characterization and training. Now, many might not have realized what this episode kind of was about, so I kind of want to clarify and explain for what I think was going on. Throughout this episode, besides Goku's perspective, we get to see Vegeta's perspective of what's going on in this episode. And he is training with Whis. And the big thing about this is that Vegeta's like, hey, why isn't Goku here and all that? You apparently know something the way you're acting. And on top of that, the way you constantly keep mentioning Goku with Beerus and all that, it makes it sound like I'm not really that important. And overall, that I'm just weaker than Goku. And that overall is pissing off Vegeta. You can see throughout the episode, he was getting very upset with that. And it's really become a reoccurring theme I've noticed throughout the recent episodes of Dragon Ball Super. We see it to where Goku's constantly mentioned in the, the conversation. Vegeta's never acknowledged, and you see Vegeta, he's acting up. He's starting to twitch and get very angry, and you notice that there's a lot of emphasis on these scenes throughout the episodes of Dragon Ball Super, and I feel like the way this is being done is clearly building up Vegeta's character, because I don't think as many times as they've done it already, it's just there to be there to shit on Vegeta. I just do not think so, because I mean, for one, what we have seen from Vegeta so far, even in this episode, is that he is not letting that get to him to the point to where he lashes out and wants to just beat everything up. He's not letting that happen. You see it to where in this episode, he calmed down, he relaxed, and he chilled out, and then he continued with his training. That's what he did. You saw it in this episode, and throughout recent episodes of Dragon Ball Super, not just, last week's episode, we didn't really see that, but I was saying, like, previous episodes, maybe, a couple weeks ago, maybe 10 weeks ago, we've been seeing Vegeta constantly being picked on, or, not even mentioned in a convo, it's mainly Goku, and you see the camera shift over to Vegeta, and Vegeta gets that focus, and you see how he gets a little bit angry or upset, or just very uncomfortable, and then it shifts away from him, and I feel like the way that's being done, it's laying down the foundation blocks for whatever's to come for Vegeta in the future. There's eventually going to be something that's probably going to happen for Vegeta. I mean, for this to be done, all this type of scenes for Vegeta alone, especially in this episode and previous episodes, something is bound to happen with his character. Now, one of the big things I think why this is going on is probably because Whis knows that Vegeta and Goku are rivals. They're big rivals. Vegeta's always chasing after Kakarot, or Goku as we know him by, chasing after him, always wanting to be stronger than him. And you gotta remember, as rivals, if you overcome your rival and you get stronger than him, obviously Vegeta's gonna feel very happy. He's like, I finally beat my rival, I'm finally on top, but then he has nothing else to really motivate him. He has nothing else to motivate him to continue on getting stronger, because the whole reason why Vegeta constantly gets stronger is because he wants to catch up to Goku. He wants to continue with his training to be on that same level as Goku. And when you think about it like this, I can understand why Vegeta is constantly doing this, and maybe why Whis and Beerus are acting like they are, not mentioning Vegeta, because they know if they say something like that, it will inspire him to continue on training. And so at this time, I don't think Vegeta is necessarily weaker than Goku. I just feel like Whis, since he is kind of smart, he's actually very smart, and the way he goes about his training is rather different from what we've seen previously throughout other trainers of Dragon Ball Z. I'm assuming that he's doing this in a way to train Vegeta, to allow him to continue to be motivated to train. Now, talking about Goku in general, his training, he is definitely receiving special training, and it's very obvious in this episode exactly what it is, if you really take the time to notice. as we all remember, there is something that even Beerus, he cannot completely use his ki to the utmost limits. He cannot 100% be, in a state of active combat, unconsciously dodge all the time, like, how someone like Whis can do. And as we know, Beerus cannot do this. He is not someone that can completely do that 100% of all the time. He's still working on it. And if you look in this episode, Goku was doing that exact same thing. Think about what was going on in this episode, okay? Goku's life was in danger. Goku was in danger. He could die at any moment. And he felt this danger, so he always had his guard on. You saw it multiple times throughout the episode how Goku was constantly sensing everything around him, but he wasn't really doing it out of thinking too hard. He was just doing it instinctively. It wasn't anything that he was really going out of his way to do. When Chi-Chi was trying to slap him or whatever, he dodged instinctively. It wasn't even anything else. He just dodged without even thinking about it. Bulma as well, he dodged without even thinking about it. How he was able to tell Gohan and Goten were around him because he was just very aware, even though he wasn't focusing too much on it. So what we saw in this episode is very similar to what Whis was trying to tell Goku about in the movies in the previous arcs, and Vegeta as well. That's what Goku is undergoing right now, because it was clear as day with the way he dodged him and all that, that's what was going on. So with that being said, what's going on with Hit? Why is Hit coming after Goku? Why did someone send out a kill order? Now, there's a couple of reasons we can get from this. For one, some type of person that hates Goku, which we do know Goku probably has a lot of enemies, wants to kill his ass. So maybe they might have heard about something from Hit, asked for, I guess, Hit to kill Goku. That's what happened. But I don't think that's really what's going on here. I personally believe it has something to do with Whis. Because we gotta remember one thing in this episode. Whis knew what was going on. He clearly knew something was going on. There was some form of training Goku was receiving. And Goku knew that Hit was coming after him. He was very aware that someone was after his life. And Goku wouldn't just automatically start acting like that if he just out of one day, like, oh, he's after my life. Someone told Goku, and if I had to assume anything, most likely Whis told Goku that Hit was after his life, or maybe Goku asked Whis, hey, could you, put a hit on me, have, Hit come after me, trying to kill me, and I get to meet this man once again and have a fight with him. Maybe something like that was done. I just feel like either Whis secretly set up Hit to go after Goku, or Goku asked Whis to do it in general, just to have this set for he could fight, and that's what resulted in this. It was kind of training for Goku, even though he's dead. You have it to where he's training and he's trying to learn how to, instinctively dodge without really even thinking about it. Being on guard, but not thinking too hard. So, I feel like that's what the main point of this episode was, and who hired Hit. It was definitely Whis, or Goku did it himself. Now, at the preview of next week's episode, towards the end of the preview, you see Beerus getting rather pissed off. Like, he's really pissed off in the preview. And my only assumption is that not even Beerus knows what's going on, and he's probably going to try to kill Hit. He's like, what the fuck are you doing? Why'd you attack Goku and all that? Because we know in this episode, Beerus made it very clear that he wants Goku to be the main head honcho of the universe's fight. Like, on his team. He wants Goku to be that big person, like the spotlight. And if Goku's dead, obviously that cannot happen. The whole point the tournament's going on in the first place is thanks to Goku talking to Zeno. So, overall, Beerus has all rights to be kind of pissed off with Hit. And Hit being there in the first place, Beerus might be saying, like, who hired you to kill Goku and all that. I can see that going down, and then, maybe you'll have it to where Hit, spills the beans and says, like, yeah, this is who hired me. So that being said, that was pretty much it with the episode of Dragon Ball Super. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.